So this brings us to the section what we call call to action. That is an area in which that we make some suggestions as what you can do for your case. If you'd like to submit the Department of Justice letter and the denial of rights letter into your case or introduce that into your case, the procedures is called judicial notice. And that is a judicial notice may be taken at any stage of a hearing, trial, or other proceedings. That is, if you'd like to include this within the next few days into your case, you can interject and include this into your case using the rule judicial notice. So let us give you some examples of what a judicial notice looks like, and let's get started. So here's a sample of a judicial notice. Now, this particular judicial notice was presented to the Second Circuit Court in New York. And there's the cover page with the appellant and the defendant. So in your case, depending on the state you're in, depending on the tribunal you're in, whether it's family court or Supreme Court or district court, you will have a cover page. Now, following that cover page, you will have what is called request for judicial notice. That's your heading. And under that, you specify that you'd like to submit these documents under Federal Rules of Evidence 201. Now, earlier we said the federal rules and the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, so it's perfectly okay to use that in any local court. So what you're doing is you're asking the court to take the request of judicial notice. And here's the text that goes with that. So in that letter, you're also adding what is called Exhibit A and Exhibit B, or any other exhibits you would like to include. So Exhibit A could be, for example, the Department of Justice letter. Exhibit B would be your denial of rights letter, what you've already served to the parties. Next, you will have a heading, what is called, you want to support the request for judicial notice. So first you ask to include it. Now you're going to support it with case laws. The case law that's normally used or sometimes used is Singh versus Ashcroft from the Ninth Circuit. There are others that can be used as well. But what you're explaining to the court that you have the authority in which to do that, and you're explaining the reasons and the case laws that will allow you to enter these documents into your case. Next, you close that with a conclusion that you're asking the court to include your document. And you must sign it, and you should have a notary stamped or sit before a notary and have this notarized before entering into the court system. You also must include a certificate of service, which means you've served all the parties in the case. Then you follow up with what is called the Exhibit A. And that would be, again, the Department of Justice letter. And Exhibit B would be the denial of rights letter. Again, a sample of it with all the individuals that you have served this, which would be a true copy. And then any other exhibits you have Exhibit C, D, you can include. So that brings us to the end of this presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. Also, we're asking for donation or to help us continue to do our research and to provide what is called the appropriate relevance for your case. And thank you for listening to our channel. Please subscribe. Here are links in which of other courses that you should review or can review for us. And thank you very much.